Hi, Pastor Jerry here, and today we're going to do the third video on pro-life argument. Why pro-life is a right position to take, and pro-choice is wrong, and why abortion is wrong, but the pro-life is a right solution. And today we've been talking about the biblical arguments, we've talked about philosophical arguments, we talked about now we're going to go into the biological arguments, and next time we'll talk about the constitutional arguments. But let's look at the biological arguments, and this is where another one of these ones where it it's really a foundational thing. If you understand the biological arguments, it's hard to counter because it's so true to the situation. So let's look at the first thing. And the thing about the biological argument is it cannot be denied that this is a developing human child. That you could try to argue against it, but the problem is in their own medical textbooks, they tell you that this is a human being. And if biologically, scientifically, this is a human being, there's no justification for killing because if it's we don't kill humans for no reason. We don't do that. It's considered murder. It's called manslaughter. It's just considered wrong. We just don't do it. We call it Holocaust. And so, biologically, if this is a human being, then no justification can be given. So let's look at the biological arguments. And so we'll go and look at some medical books and journals that basically tell you what it is. And this is what the medical textbooks themselves say. So the first one, although life is a continuous process, fertilization is a crucial landmark because under the ordinary circumstances, a new genetically distinct human organism is formed when the chromosome of the male and female pronuclei blend into the oocyte. And so we got this blending, and this is when this is a new human being, new organism is created that has unique DNA, but the DNA of this child is different than the mother's. It's different than the father's. This is unique biological DNA of the child, completely unique, and begins right here with fertilization, right at conception. This is when it happens. And by the way, you notice this is from an embryology textbook. Here's another one. The zygote. This cell results from the union of a oocyte and the sperm during fertilization. The zygote is the beginning of a new human being, i.e., an embryo. The zygote marked the beginning of each of us as unique individual. And again, so that's the beginning mark. Okay, and to talk about the zygote, which is the very first thing, and it's talking about, and where is this from? The Developing Human Clinical Oriented Embryology. This is a book on embryology. This is a book about it, and so it starts right when at the beginning. What's another one? It says this: the zygote thus formed represents the beginning of a new life. Life when it begin? Right here. And again, this is from a biological principle, a modern practical of optics. So again, this is in their own words. This is scientists telling you. When does life begin? Fertilization. When life began? There. And by the way, they have known this for years. They didn't need, there was no mystery. When Roe v. Wade was passed, there's no mystery when life began. Right? No mystery at all. Here we go. Another one. Again, look at this. This is published in 1968. It says this: in the perturbation of the ovum by a spermosome and the resultant mingling of the nuclear material that can constitute the cultivation and the process of fertilization and mark the initiation of life of a new individual. Right? Human embryology. Another one, when fertilization is complete, a unique genetic human entity exists. This is from the Mayo Clinic. So here we are. We'll get to that in a second. Here we are. Every medical textbook agrees and confirms that when you have fertilization, when conception happens, that is a unique individual life begins. Right there. Science has told you. Biology has told us. There is no mission, no question, no question. Unique biology. But if that's not confirming, first of all, I'm going to show you this picture here. This is a developing human being. And as you look through this picture, there's no question about it. Throughout the whole cycle, this is a developing human being. I posted a video that shows a video of the developing human being. They have the camera in there. You can see it through the whole process. And I encourage you to watch this video. But I want to talk about the different stages here. On day 1, its conception takes place. Day 7, the tiny human implants in the mother's uterus. Day 10, the mother mensa stops. Day 18, heartbeat begins to beat. When's the beat? Day 18. When's that? The first trimester. And most people agree that once the heartbeat begins, there's no justification for abortion. Almost everyone agrees with that. And that's why I think the most reasonable law, if you do want to regulate abortion, would be the heartbeat law. I think that is the most reasonable, and most people would agree with that. Day 21, pumps own blood through separation, closed circulation with its own blood type. In other words, its heart starts beating day 21. That's less than a month. But 18 and 21, before the first month is over, it's already pumping its own blood. It already is pumping. It's pumping its own blood. Its own blood type too. It's not the mother's blood type, it's not the father, it is its own separate blood type. Day 20, eyes, ears, and respiratory system begins to form. That's when by 28, they're already starting to develop the features that will become that we recognize as a human face. A respiratory system. Day 42, brain waves record skeleton complete reflection represents. It's already the brain is starting to develop. It's starting to start having brain waves can be recorded. And again, when is this? Before the first trimester is over. How could we ever justify first term abortions if they're this developed by this point? By week 7, photos of thumb sucking. And I've actually seen pictures of that. It's really cool. Week 8, all body systems represented. So all the body parts are present in the child. Week 9, squints, swallows, moves tongue, and makes fists. Week 11, spontaneous breathing, movement, has fingernails, and all the body system working. But no, remember, this is only week 11. How can we ever justify abortion? I don't know. Week 12, weighs 1 ounce. Week 16, a gentle organs clearly differentiate, grasp with hands, swims, kicks, turns, somersaults, and still not felt by the mother. Just imagine that this child is fully developed and the mother still can't feel it, but it's already has all the basic elements of a human being. Week 18, vocal cords work, can cry. Let me say that. Week 18, vocal cords work and can cry. By the way, I want you to understand when they do an abortion, that point, that baby though you cannot hear it, is screaming in pain. What justified it? What could never justify it? Week 20. Has hair on head and weighs 1 pound and is 12 inches long. Week 21 was the youngest child to survive outside the womb after premature birth. Let's say that. Week 21 was the youngest child to survive outside the womb after present birth. And I was just talking to a member of my church, and his granddaughter was born way premature. And he could fit his granddaughter in the palm of his hand. And now she's grown up, she's a healthy young woman. Just imagine. Week 23, 17% of viability outside the womb is birth premature. Week 24, 39 of babies survive premature. Week 25, 50% of babies survive premature birth. Now, why do we mention those ones? Because one of the arguments that for Pinehurst versus Casey was based on viability. It said, well, once viability has been determined, then no justification for abortion can be made. The thing is, science has gone so good that viability is earlier and earlier and earlier. Science can do amazing things. But I tell you to look at these images. That is a human being developing in its mother's womb, and there's nothing that we can take away from that. In scientific, it's proven this is a human. And if it's a human, and it's from conception, and we can see it developing fully into a mature unborn baby, into a born child, as it develops. If it's a human, we can never justify abortion, ever. And the arguments given for terminating, for abortion, for allowing abortion, the arguments given for allowing abortion are the same type of arguments that were given to justify the Holocaust, slavery, and other atrocities in history. We should not accept any of them, because it says that the unborn baby is not a child, but it is. It's human. It's human. It's human. I plead with you to understand this. It's one of the important things to show to friends and family who are pro-abortion, is let them look at the images and say, oh, at what stage would you not consider it a human, and why? And by the way, there is no argument to be made. It's a philosophical fallacy to say, well, at this point it's a human being, at this point it isn't. That's a philosophy. It's called a drawing the line fallacy. There is no argument to be made as a human. God bless you and have a good day. Again, I encourage you to watch the video of the development of the human child. If you like these videos, please like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell. God bless you and have a good day.